Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rose and Carter Do the JOB. It's what we're known for. It's what we do best. Today, we're talking about the Rockers, aren't we, Bully Boy Carter? One of your favourites?
Sorry, say that again?
We're talking about the Rockers today. One of your favourite teams?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah, I've I did some proper like we picked 4 matches. I've not gone, because everybody knows of the major matches that they've had. So I thought I'd go a little bit off, a little, like somewhere a bit more obscure.
Yeah,
To try and have a look.
I've done something similar, to be honest.
Right, yeah. So yeah, it'd be something different to have a look at. The Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. First, I want to say hello to Victoria Davis, who sent me a message saying that she's a regular watcher. Victoria Davis, she's a fan of ours, watches us, and she's also a fan of Wurzel Gummidge. So I don't know what that tells us. But hello, Victoria Davis. The Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, teamed together between 85 and 92. So all in all, for a well-established tag team, it's not a great deal of time, is it? 7 years?
Not really. I mean, there's been longer, hasn't there? Many teams have. Yeah. I guess
like,
a lot
when
of
you
teams...
think of the Rock, you think of proper long team, like a long term, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of teams don't really do what they do they? They don't really break up. I mean, it's obvious, it's fairly common. They do break up and go their different ways, but many other teams stick together, don't they? And for a long time, and they're known as.
If there is a break, they're together. May the 15th, 1985 was their first match together, and they split up on January the 12th, 1992. Other than the Raw reunion in 2005. They first met in NWA Central States, where they used to travel together, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, along with Tommy Rogers. They used to team with DJ Peterson. Sorry, they used to travel with DJ Peterson as well. Marty used to team with Tommy Rogers and also Bob Brown, Bulldog Bob Brown, who was the booker at Central States. When Bob Brown sort of took a little bit of a back step, they put Shawn and Marty together. Name though, they didn't really, they didn't have a name. They were just sort of Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Yeah. They beat the Batten Twins for the Central States tag titles. In '85, they went to the AWA, again with no name. But there was 2 other suggestions before they come up with the Midnight Rockers. They were the Midnight Rockers, obviously, then. Yeah. And the 2 other name suggestions were the US Express, kind of already been done with Rotundo and Barry Windham, and the Country Rockers.
Right.
Maybe with cowboy hats and shit. Could have worked. They won the title with Doug Summers and Buddy Rose. Some great matches with Doug Summers and Buddy Rose they had.
Fantastic matches.
A year later, they went to the WWF for the first time. Only lasted a very brief period there. They only had one televised match during that period against Jimmy Jack Funk and Jose Estrada. And I think the heat was between the Rockers and Jimmy Jack Funk, which kind of got them the sack, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it happened in a bar or something, wasn't it? Where Jimmy Jack Funk was being a bit loud, and I think it was Shawn that got them fired, not Marty, from what I recall. Because Shawn was like something to do with a bottle of beer, from what I understand. Like Funk was being a bit of a loudmouth, obnoxious and stuff, and Shawn ended up breaking a bottle over his own head, like rather, you know what I mean, like just acting like you want and like I don't really know everything, but that's basically what I heard. And then Shawn and Marty were literally going like, I think they got called into the office the day after or something.
Is that when Vince McMahon said, "Oh, nice boots, they're made for walk"?
Yeah, that's it. I remember. Yeah, that was like the next day or something. So yeah, it didn't last long the first time around.
So that was the only TV match they had, was Jimmy Jack Funk and Jose Estrada. They did a couple of non-TV sort of house shows with the Shadows, who was Moondog Rex and Jose Luis Rivera in the Black Masks.
Okay.
After the Fire In, they went to CWA in Memphis, where they feuded with the Nasty Boys, the Nightmares, and the RPMs. Back to the AWA to feud with the original Midnight Express, Bad Company, who would later become the Orient Express.
Yeah.
And then ended up in the WWF in June of '88. And the rest, really, from there is history, isn't it?
Yeah.
We picked 4 matches apiece. What was your first, mate?
My first one was from a AWA tag title match versus the Nasty Boys.
Right.
Because I've seen plenty of them versus them in the WWF. I've not seen as much against them in the AWA, so I thought I'd pick this one for the for the first one. So.
Oh. How did it go?
Just reading my notes here.
Have you got a date for it?
There's not a date. There's
Okay.
no date. It just said AWA like versus the Nasty Boys, and then it was like I just found out it was for the tag belts and stuff. But no, there's not an exact date, so I don't exactly know when it was. Just trying to read my notes here. It looks Chinese. Hang on a minute. Yeah, like, I enjoyed the match though. At the end, I put basically, I've put it's a slow start, a lot of stalling, you know, kind of like our kind of style, you know.
Not all action like ours, no.
It's real simple actually. Like they do like Sean and Brian Knobbs start. Brian Knobbs ends up giving him a couple of tackles, powering him. Then they'll do something where Sean's the one running, ends up tackling Knobbs, and then it's like Jerry and Marty in to run a spot. Do the old knee in the back for the cut off on Sean, you know.
One.
Marty gets the hot tag, the good old noggin knocker. Okay, that's like one of our matches, this, isn't it? Everything they're doing. And then Jannetty wins with a crossbody off the top on Knobbs. But yeah, I've just put it's a fun match, a simple match, a real simple tag match, nothing like complex in it, but it seemed to flow all right. And I also put these will be like the dying days at the end of the AWA, won't they? Like this time.
Yeah,
but
sort of like the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but for me, watching the AWA back, it's also like I thought it was a decent time. Like, you know, as a fan watching it, I found some of the stuff around about this era really enjoyable. Like, you know,
when it comes to the AWA, I'd rather the dying days. Sort of 87 to the death was better than, in my opinion, the late 70s, early 80s when it was booming. Because it's less punchy and kicky. Like it's, we spoke about this with Mad Dog on one of the Facebook posts, didn't we? That New York, the WWF was a bit punchy and kicky with your Bruno Sammartino type matches, and I thought AWA was the same. In the early days, anyway. So when they had a slightly younger, more energetic yet still psychology crew, it was far better. Yeah,
no, I remember like thinking, I've thought that for a long time. Like in the dying days, it's some really good TV, like real good stuff, but it went around for that much longer.
No. Was the finish the crossbody where Marty sleeps to him first and they go over him and then catch Michaels?
No, I think the crossbody was Mike. Oh, I don't know actually. Michaels and Knobbs were outside the ring at some point during the finish, I'm sure, and I think Michaels comes back in right towards the end, but yeah, because they were outside the ring, Michaels and Knobbs, for the actual finish.
I think their actual finish during their early days sort of thing was, like Marty will send them off the ropes, sleep to them, over the other one goes, and then catches the crossbody from Sean.
This was the like a crossbody from the top ropes, like.
Right, I get you.
Yeah, it wasn't like this was like a steamboat style, like,
What Meltzer rating you giving this?
Well, if it was Meltzer, I'd give it a fucking 12-star, wouldn't it? But going out of 5, I don't know. I'd give it a decent. I'd give it a good solid 3.5. Like
That's
at
good.
least.
You know the Nasty Boys, right?
Yeah.
I think they were better then and early WCW than when they got to WWF.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think towards towards the mid-90s in WCW, like the old WCW, the more recent WCW run they had with like when they were wrestling Cactus and fucking Kevin Sullivan and Max Payne and all that shit. I just wasn't a fan.
Right.
Or of Brian Knobbs on his own because he was just hitting people with bins.
Yeah. That's all I remember from WCW with him. Was like because it's just what he was doing for so long, like
Because he fucked up his leg big time, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I remember that.
So that was your first AWA one. My first one was an AWA as well. AWA World Tag Titles. Midnight Rockers from December the 27th, 1987 at the Showboat Sports Pavilion in Las Vegas, where they did most of their TV from at that point, if not all of it.
Right.
And it was against Rockin' Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey, the original Midnight Express.
I almost chose that one.
I really enjoyed it. Really good, proper. Because it was quite long, and it was like 20, 25 minutes, but it had me ripped right from the start because it was one of those slow starters again. I love the AWA setup. To be fair, I like the logo in the ring and fucking that Las Vegas Showboat place is nice setup.
Yeah, I clicked on this one on YouTube, but I just chose. I literally put it on my to watch later matches because I was going to do it, but I ended up going with this one instead. So.
Yeah, like I just said, I wrote here that it took me years to accept the AWA. Like to me, it was too punchy kicky. But when I realised there was more to it, the more recent stuff, because the classic AWA that people ram down your throat is a little bit dull, in my opinion, anyway. The commentary team is Ron Trongart and Nick Karsh. Right. Ron appears a year later in the next video I did at MSG in the WWF. So they must have gone like at the same time as the Rockers, really, like the AWA commentator. But they make a proper deal of it being the world title match, which I think is good as well. It's world tag titles and they're proper fucking like boxing do. It's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now championship's going to get brushed under the carpet like no one gives a shit. But they made a proper deal. It's here on TV on ESPN, World Championship match. Proper fucking. Again, it was a slow start. Dennis Condrey and Shawn Michaels just pottering around a little bit. Shawn Michaels simply punches Dennis Condrey, and that is it. That is it. And the fucking place blows, because it was timed real well.
Right.
Couple of atomic drops on the floor, one to each of the Midnight Express. And they sold the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Heels have a fucking long walk for 5 minutes. At that point, the Rockers grab the belts and sort of show off in the ring, which brings them back real quick.
Right.
There's a great little spot where Dennis sends Marty to the corner.
Yeah.
Sorry. Marty sends Dennis to the corner, rather. And Shawn Michaels fucking clotheslines him from outside, like up from the apron. Out the corner, he clotheslines him. And then later on, like the next thing they do, Randy sends Marty into Dennis's corner now, but there's a switch. So fucking Randy goes in and Dennis ends up lining Randy, which I've not seen before, but it's so fucking simple.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. There was a shitload of heat on Shawn Michaels that like sells like Ricky Morton at this point.
Yeah.
But he's alive all the time, like literally every other move that they do to him. He does something, like tiny little thing. There was a cracking out spot and plenty of them. Like sometimes it's just a punch, or a kick, and they cut him off, but it's like just enough. What else have I put? It felt like real competition. Do you know what I mean? It felt like a real fight. You know, it looked like a real fight. You believed it because of Michael selling.
Yeah.
Art tag, in comes Marty, double noggin. All four of them are in. Dennis does the, you know, like all four in the corner. They try to send Marty and Sean into each other, but Randy does the switch. So it's Marty that goes into Dennis.
Right.
A little later on, Dennis tries a suplex, but Marty's feet catch the referee, which kills the ref. And they all kind of fucking land on each other. Then there's some kind of weird fucking thing where both Marty and Dennis Condrey are pinning each other. Second referee comes in, counts the 3, and just in time, Marty gets his shoulder up. Cack finish, I think, for such a fucking great match. You know, like a real odd finish. Like, it didn't really need the second referee. You know, you didn't need the ref bump. You didn't need the second referee. Like the finish itself with getting the shoulder up thing, that's cool. But, you know, didn't understand the referee dying. There was just no fucking need for it. I thought it was going to be one of them schmorzes where the fucking first referee goes, no, they won. And I said, disqualified. The other, you know, fucking bantering. But, no, really enjoyed it. Cracking match. Brilliant.
That's good.
What you got now?
The next one I've got is from Prime Time, October 1988 against the Rougeaus.
Right, always good them.
Yeah. So, this
favourite
one...
Rockers Rougeau from Paris, but I couldn't find it.
All right, yeah. I think I've seen that. Is that on one of the tapes?
The World Tour tapes.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Fucking amazing. And they do a finish where there's like a small package and they push them over. Rolls them over.
Yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah.
Real good. Right, how was that then?
This one, a real fun match again. These two teams seem to have a lot of like real good chemistry. Like it just seemed to click, you know what I mean? Like they really worked well. And I think I seen stuff in the match as well that was just like easy, but different. Like right at the start of the match, Marty and Ray are in at the start. Fucking Jacques is like talking shit or doing something on the apron. Basically, Marty turns to him. Ray just nails him from behind and tags Jacques straight in. That's like Ray is literally like out of the match. Just, you know what I mean? Don't even do anything. Literally just nails him from behind, tags Jacques in, and then it's like Jacques and Marty in. But then Marty turns it around, quick tags, but you know the old Rockers, quick tags and stuff. And the cut off on Sean, simple as fuck, and something we've probably done a million times is just a trip, hitting the ropes and just fucking trip him up and takes the front bump for the actual cut off.
Yeah. You don't need any more on that simple shit, yeah.
That's it. And the fucking crowd were hating it. Like, you know what I mean? Like real fucking booing the shit out of them. Real good heel work by the Rougeaus, like proper, like, you know, got the fucking abdominal stretch on, holding his hand, you know, on the apron as he's doing it. Then they'll do the switch. You are?
Rougeaus like that, don't they?
Yeah, and then they'll do the switch without the tag. You know, as Marty's trying to come in, then they'll switch guys and stuff like that. There was a good spot on it that was pretty made me laugh because I'd never seen it before. I have to try and remember like exactly how it went. So basically, Marty gets the hot tag and he ends up in the cut. He ends up giving giving Jacques. He ends up giving Jacques the fucking heads in the corner, but like he gets to like 7, and then fucking Jacques is like, no, he's doing them on Jacques. Ray's trying to come in, so he's giving fucking Jacques Rougeau the 7 heads in the corner, like buckles. Fucking referee goes over to the fucking other Rougeau on the outside, but as he's doing that, the Rougeau that's just taken the fucking 7 heads in the corner staggers over to fucking Sean on the outside. So Sean's still on the outside, and Sean on the outside is giving him fucking 8 heads in the fucking corner, like literally the corner he's just fed to. You know what I mean? Never seen that ever in my life before, but it's a really cool spot. Like really, really like good the way it happened. It was like I say, I've never seen it ever before, but I'll probably steal that. To be fair, it's pretty good. And the finish was a DQ finish, which was quite. It depends how you look at it. I actually liked it because basically it was with a megaphone, but he didn't actually nail him. What happened was basically the ref just caught him with the megaphone. Like he literally ends up with a megaphone. So it's like
who had the megaphone? Who had the megaphone?
It was one of the Rougeos. I think Jimmy Hart threw it in, and then like whoever was on the outside, maybe Sean or Marty, I can't remember, but Sean, I think, like basically tells the ref. So you can say it's a bit fucking boring or a bit dull, but it's just like it's so simple, but never happens. Like the referee, you expect him to use it behind the ref's back or whatever.
Yeah.
But literally, like the referee turns around and he's just got it, and he's like, "Oh, you can't do that," like DQ kind of thing. So I actually liked it because you don't expect the ref to catch him.
Actually got caught, which never happens.
Yeah. So it kind of, I think there's a lot of stuff in this match that I'm not really, you don't see often. Like even back then, you didn't see often. Like because, So yeah, I've just wrote it was a fun match. Really, really good stuff. I thought. Yeah.
Wicked. That was October of '88. My next one is a month before, 9th of September '88, from MSG. I've written just 9 months after the last match when they were in the AWA, and it's from Madison Square Garden against the Conquistadors.
All right, good old Conquistadors.
And Jose Estrada. Ron Trongott again from the AWA before his commentary with Alfred Hayes and Billy Graham. Fucking amazing. I don't think the Conquistadors get half as much credit as they deserve because they're fucking amazing. And this really showed it.
Yeah, they don't, do they?
No, not at all. No one seems. Everyone thinks they're like the shit kicker team. That's the fucking JOB team, and that's not the case at all.
Yeah,
they were there to put fucking people over, and they did. The start was like really fucking hard though. Marty and the taller Conquistador, who was Rivera, innit?
Right.
Pretty much lock up, and fucking Rivera's got him in a torture rack straight off, like out of nowhere. And then fucking in comes Sean to try and stop him. The other Conquistador comes in, and they swap backs. So they're like swapping him, back to back to Conquistador to Conquistador. Right. And then when Sean does get a chance to come in, he takes Marty off the back because the other Conquistador was got fucked off by Sean, got lamped out of the ring. So now Shawn Michaels has got hold of Marty, he pops him down, double drop kick, fucking out they powder. It's different, really. But I thought to do that straight off was fucking odd. But they know what they did. A lot of it was Conquistadors getting heat on Shawn Michaels, like a long arse heat. But again, Shawn Michaels kept himself alive. I've written Shawn Michaels is the Rockers' Ricky Morton. But Conquistadors is a right good thing. The tubby Conquistador, Jose Estrada, goes to pin Shawn Michaels quite close to the ropes. Shawn Michaels fucking big kick out, so out goes the Conquistador. Shawn Michaels is reaching for the tag, almost there. Other Conquistador comes out the ring to check his mate's all right, and then they do the switch. The other one gets in.
Right, yeah.
So it makes sense that they did the switch, but really it was fucking seamless, clockwork, fucking just doing the little switch and rolling back in, and just saving Michaels just in time from the tag to Marty. It was perfectly timed.
Yeah.
There's a suplex switch before the end. Sean's Conquistador's almost got Sean over. Sean suplexes Conquistador. Both are dead. In comes Marty. All four are in again. corner to corner. Sean goes into the Conquistador this time after the switch, similar to the AWA match before. Sean splashes the Conquistador for the finish, like off Marty's shoulders, very much like the Edge Shrinkers used to do.
Right, yeah.
In match, really good. A long one as well, like 17, 18 minutes long. For a Conquistadors match, when you normally see them on TV, it's fucking like 3 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really good. Loved it.
Good. All right.
What have you got now?
So now I've got MSG from '89. I don't know what month. Versus the Brainbusters.
Always a winner.
Yeah, I thought, like with the other ones I've chose, I wasn't sure about. I wasn't familiar with, but I know that I've seen them a million times with the Brainbusters and thought I can't go wrong with this one. So, all right. Something that made me laugh about this match is we got fucking Lord Alfred Hayes on commentary, who I fucking love. But fuck me, he could not tell Marty and Sean apart. He kept fucking calling. He kept fucking calling Sean. Even when there's fucking, I can't remember who.
And the dark-haired one. I've already been there a year.
I can't remember who Alfred Hayes was on commentary with because I wasn't familiar with the voice. But he kept calling them the right names, but he didn't think to correct Hayes by saying no, that's Marty in there. He just waited until Hayes stopped talking, and then he'd fucking just carry on, but then correcting it like that. So it kind of made me laugh. Made me laugh at fucking good old.
Too much respect for Al Hayes.
You what?
Too much respect for Alfred Hayes, that man.
That's it. Yeah, I'd have done the same, to be fair. Fucking good old Alfred Hayes. What have I got here? But yeah, quality, proper fucking tag wrestling. The Rockers were some of the best. They were two of the best at it, weren't they? Like proper tag team like spots. Like, they wrestled like a tag team,
Made for each of those teams, because one's like the quick flyer, one's the fucking dirty ass villains. They're just made to be together, those teams, aren't they?
Yeah. They've done the cut off. The Brainbusters used to do it all the time on the outside with the clothesline from Arn, where fucking like Michaels is chasing Tully around the corner of the ring. And Tully throws a line, Sean ducks it and runs right into a line from Arn on the outside. Beautiful cut off. I've done. It's funny because I used to watch a lot of Brainbusters matches, and they used to do that a lot of the times. And it's such an easy cut off to do, and I've done it in matches before, and it just proves that a lot of people haven't seen this type of wrestling, because how many times I've done it and it's gone fucking wrong. I don't know how it can go wrong. But the people I've fucking been in there with have fucked up something. And it's like such an easy spot to do. Dock a line, take a fucking line. Like it's but fucking
all you got to do is this. That's all you got to do.
It's made me look a right twat because it's my idea to do it and it's gone fucking pear-shaped. And I don't know how, but yeah, it's a beautiful cut off and it's so easy and effective. But yeah, it looked, and taking a bump on the outside as well, like But I wouldn't recommend it if it was me taking the bump. But I don't mind them taking it, to be fair. But
you're around, aren't you? So
good. Well, yeah, yeah. So they do that cut off on Sean on the outside. Sean takes the heat. Like Sean's always taking the heat, any or Sean.
Yeah. Sean is Ricky Morton.
He is, isn't he? What I've done, yeah, but Marty's got great fire in this. Like, comes in, fucking House of Fire and whatnot. They do the finish is pretty cool, which is a fairly like common finish, like in these days where Marty goes to suplex Arn. No, sorry, Marty suplexing Tully. Arn's on the outside and trips him. So he lands on Marty. But what made it even was, the fucking tassels on the Rockers' boots. Like, fucking Arn's on the outside and he's literally pulling the tassels on his boots to like stop him going anywhere. He's not even got his ankle or anything. He's got the tassels so you can't even see on anywhere. It's fucking pretty innovative and pretty cool, to be honest. But yeah, I put fantastic match after that. Like, absolutely fantastic that was.
Barnaby. It was Barnaby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So my third one was just a couple of weeks after my last one, September the 30th, this one. Still in 1988. From prime time again. Rockers against Danny Davis and Mike Sharp.
All right.
Now, this is just 3 weeks after the one at MSG. And the Rockers almost had a new look kind of thing. Because before they were in them sort of dark, almost woolen type trunks. When now they've got the leathery sort of leopard skin kind of fucking gear on. You know, like the black leather with the yellow and blue leopard skin on. So they brought some new gear. The success of the first few months in WWF obviously paid off. Al Hayes and Vince are commentating, which I thought was an odd combination.
Yeah, that is an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah. Marty and Danny start shitload of head scissors, fucking everywhere. There's head scissors. Typical heel stuff from Danny Davis after the powder, like headlock, and then there's a top wrist lock and pull fucking Marty's hair. You know, pull Sean's hair. Sorry, Sean was in by that point. They did a shitload of heat on Danny Davis. We still hadn't seen Mike Sharp like 5 minutes in. When Mike Sharp does come in, he gets arm dragged, and like Mike Sharp doesn't do a lot. He was fucking. People don't give Mike Sharp enough credit either. He was fucking, because he was like a proper contender in the early 80s. So, but by this point, he was on the way out. But Sharp chops the shit out of Marty Jannetty at some point. Like proper chops the fuck out of him. Like, I've written here, which is pretty much all that Mike Sharp said all the way through it. But I fucking love that. There was a tiny bit of heat on Shawn Michaels. Danny Davis does a bout-in backdrop on Shawn Michaels, which pretty much leads to the finish. Because something went tits up for Danny Davis. Art tag, in comes Marty, same old, same old. They run Sharp and Davis together. Fucking Davis does the bump out the ring. Sharp just staggers. He don't like to bump, I don't blame him. Off the ropes. Marty sleeps to him. Over he goes. Crossbody from Sean. Job's a good one. It was cracking little match. And I only went for this because it was a longer one, rather than it being like your typical like I said about the Conquistadors. If that would have been on a standard TV show like Superstars or Challenge, it'd be 3 minutes. Right. Because it was prime, it was 8, 9, 10 minutes.
Right. Okay.
Enjoyed it though, couldn't. Your last.
My last one is. It's just before they split up, because it's the 18th of November 91, so it would have just been before Survivor Series where they tagged with the Bushwhackers against the
I've got the date they split. Jan 12th, 92.
Yeah, so this was like just the end of the year before. So literally like a couple of months or something. Anyway, this match is 18th November 91 against the Beverly Brothers.
Right.
Now, the Beverly Brothers, everyone, I think people shit on them, but I fucking like them, to be honest. I thought they had a good look. And they're fucking two great workers, to be honest. I can't really fault the Beverly Brothers.
They did well in the AWA too.
Yeah, but I mean, WWF, how long were they around for? They weren't around for that long, were they? WWF?
Couldn't have been long, could it? Can't understand why, but couldn't have been long.
But I thought they were a very good team, and they had some really good like double teams. That one where one of them's got him on the ropes, and the other one runs and jumps over his fucking shoulders. You know what I mean?
Orient Express did that as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Really cool. Yeah, really cool double teams. What have we got here? Hang on. Yeah, great double teams at the start from the Rockers and stuff. And Marty actually takes the heat in this one for a change. So I was quite surprised at that one. And Sean Yeah, Shawn Michaels gets the hot tag in this one. It's actually this one ends in a 10-minute time limit draw. And I've just put at the end, I've put decent match. Beverly's underrated. That's basically how I finished the thing. But yeah, it was
10-minute draw. What TV show is it? Do you know?
I can't remember what it was actually.
Is it like a challenge?
I think it was challenge, maybe.
Just seems odd finish for TV, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, it was a weird one. That like, yeah, 10 minutes is pretty short, isn't it? But yeah, that's definitely what happened. So it was. I can't remember exactly the actual finish, like the actual what was happening when they went to the finish. But yeah, it was just a time limit draw. I've just put like I say, it's a decent match, and like I say, Beverly's I always thought were underrated, and no, if you ask someone to name like 20 tag teams from back then, they don't. No one will mention the Beverly Brothers, to be honest.
No.
But no, I like them. I thought they're a decent team, to be fair. And this was just before the Rockers split up, so.
I suppose it made sense to do a fucking count out there, to do a time limit thing, because like you wouldn't want to put the Rockers over if they're splitting.
Yeah.
But yet the Beverly Brothers weren't quite there to put them over either.
Mm.
You know, because if a team splits after the two, it kind of might lose a bit of the fucking momentum. So I don't know.
Yeah.
My last.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I don't know if the Rockers were like, because they were going through some shit, weren't they, at the time? Before they split, they were going through like you could see the tension and that. So I don't know if there wasn't any tension in this match, but there was at like literally at Survivor Series this year, weren't there? Because when I think Shawn got eliminated, didn't he? And he blamed Marty.
Yeah, and they had power and glory heat as well. They were fucking Power and Glory were there, and kind of arguments would happen between them during Power and Glory matches.
Right. I remember the Rockers had a match with LOD on Superstars.
Yeah, I saw that on the YouTube list. I didn't watch it, but
yeah, and they had some tension then as well, because I think if I remember, I haven't watched it since I was a kid, so this is fucking like damn near 30 years ago. But I can remember one of them. I think it was Animal had Shawn for like a power slam, and I think if I remember rightly, the finish was Marty drop kicked Animal, but he fell forward and ended up pinning Shawn or something like that. And
right, like an accident.
Yeah. So Shawn blamed Marty for that, and that was, I think, almost the start of the tension. But yeah. So.
There we go. My last one was their last ever tag, as far as I can tell, which is 2005 on Raw, like a Rockers reunion against La Resistance, Sylvain Grenier and Rob Conway.
Yeah, I remember watching that years ago.
I'm a massive fan of Rob Conway's.
Right.
Yeah. I really like Rob Conway.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how I saw the start of this, right?
Right.
I love Marty Jannetty, don't get me wrong, but this is 2005, right?
Yeah.
And I've written Marty Jannetty looks like a pound shop action figure compared to the WWF action figures.
Right.
Which is exactly how he looked in the ring, with a fucking juiced up Sylvain Grenier, a fit as fuck Rob Conway, and a national hero, Shawn Michaels. There was like, Primark fucking Marty Jannetty. I couldn't help but feel sorry for him. He was doing his best, bless him. They did this fucking double hip toss spot and loads of little tag spots like they used to do. It was nice, nostalgia.
Yeah.
They both did diving crossbodies over the top rope outside the ring. Low bridge on Shawn Michaels, so they get a fucking shitload of heat on Shawn Michaels. Heart attack from the French team, from the La Resistance. They did the fucking old heart attack on Shawn.
All right.
More heat on Shawn as standard. There was a double down nip up from Sean. In comes Marty. Go on, Marty, lad. In he comes, fucking bish, bash, bosh. Drop kicks fucking all over the shop from Marty, and this didn't help not get him over, really. Lawler on commentary. Love Lawler, so I find it hard to say anything bad about him. But he was like, look at Marty Janney, still able to do a drop kick. I thought, oh, he's not dead. You know, he's not fucking been in a nursing home. He's just not been wrestling on TV. But there was the old sweet chin music, and then Marty pins Silvan. Jobs are good, and everyone celebrates at the end. The old music fucking was playing as well. The old rockers music, not Sean's or anything. It's a shame nothing came about it for Marty, should I say? But it was no different to any old Shawn Michaels Marty Jannetty match from fucking 10 years before, more than that, innit? 15 years before that.
Yeah.
So no, they did a good job, bless them.
Well,
time is tight, but long and short, love the Rockers and really enjoyed watching them.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny thing that happened. You know, fucking when I briefly first started training up in Scotland, like back in 2004, and Marty came to do some shows for the company I was wrestling for, that I was training with. I was only there a couple months, but we'd done this like weekender of shows with Marty and Honky Tonk Man were there and that. And fucking I hadn't seen Marty like on TV for many years. So I was quite surprised that he was coming over to Scotland to do these shows. And this was 2004. So just a year before like that match you're on about. But at the time, someone told me, was like, fucking, it's like Marty's going back to WWE soon. He's going to have like another fucking run maybe. And like, I was like buzzing, like really, like, you know. I told some guys about it and none of them would fucking believe me. I was like, I've heard Marty's going to be on like fucking Raw and that or whatever in the not too distant future. And they're almost like taking the piss out of me. Like, don't talk daft, like, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, he still looked all right. Like, he didn't look fucking totally out of shape or anything.
Oh,
like,
yeah, not at all.
You know what I mean?
Like, the only
he's
reason I take the piss and say about the Pound Shop action figure is because he was next to Rob Conway and Silvan. And Silvan was fucking huge.
Yeah.
And Conway was like a fucking Greek god, you know?
Oh, yeah,
and Shawn Michaels, regardless of how he looked, Shawn Michaels is Shawn Michaels, right?
Yeah. So no, it was just funny how people were taking the piss, and then I remember watching Raw or whatever, and then fucking Marty shows up. I'm like, fucking hell, just like a year ago, I was told that this was going to happen. Like, but no fucker would believe me. But yeah.
Wicked. Yeah, good pick. The Rockers was enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Monday we're doing Barry Darsow, which is your pick. 100 gimmicks to choose from: the Russian, the fucking Smash, Repo Man, some golfer gimmick. Fuck knows what else. Crusher Darsow. I like 200 gimmicks to choose from. That's Monday.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Ringmaster the Great American Bash from the NWA we're reviewing. Friday we're back to tag teams. My pick for tag teams, and I'm picking Lieutenant James Earl Wright and Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, the State Patrol.
Oh, yeah.
WCW, State Patrol, fabulous team. Loads of matches on YouTube to choose from.
Sweet.
So, yeah, that's that. Time's fucking run out. That's gone quick today.
Yeah.
We'll see you then. And thank you for Victoria Davis for messaging, and I hope you enjoy us, and I hope you enjoy Wurzel Gummidge that you're also a fan of. We'll see you on Monday.